What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video. And this time I want to take a look at DSP's react to the internet, whatever he calls this stupid show. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a look at where he ended up today versus where he ended up last week and the initial kickoff where he made the announcement of DSP Reacts. And you guys know I've been doing several kind of series, I would call them, I guess, or projects as Phil would call them, where I take a look at where Phil is currently, where he was last year. I've been looking at his finances to see how many tips he's received, super chats, where his memberships are. You guys know I posted my video regarding how he has negative membership growth in DSP Gaming for over 9 months, and how gifted memberships has just not panned out for Phil, and it's actually hurt him in the long run. If you guys want to check out that video, it is on my YouTube channel. So I want to do something similar here. I want to do a comparison of where he ended up this week, where he was last week, and the initial go and announcement of this channel. So you guys know about 2 weeks ago, he went live, talked about the channel, made the channel go live. It was that stream where he spent almost an hour messing with Nightbot, and the trolls were out in full force and dominating his chat. It was just a great thing. Everybody was out there just having fun. And of course, on that stream, he ended up hitting 44 members. He had 44. No, actually, yeah, he had 44 members. Yes, 44 members. Of that, 35 of those were gifted memberships. So actually only 9 people stepped up and forked out money to actually become members. That's probably your Slayers, your Derek. I don't know Derek because I don't think he has any money, but kind of those, those pay pigs that love anything that Phil does and will buy memberships and support him in any way. So about 9 of them, right? And then that's where he was on the initial video, or the initial stream, where he kind of announced this thing. And again, he had his biggest membership, he had his biggest view count, and his dents were there, and trolls were there, and people were there. And if you were gonna buy a membership, that was the day you were gonna do it, right? Fast forward a week, and he does this show. He calls it what he calls DSP Reacts to the Internet, where it's kind of a clip show, and he does his best to kind of react to this content. And when I say best, I say that very loosely. It's just bad. It's so bad that I didn't find anything worthy of clipping to show, because it was just that terrible. He does a horrible job with it. He needs to actually research and review YouTubers that actually do react content, and maybe get some pointers and some tips. But anyway, so on the first official show of Phil's DSP versus the Internet, which is this clip right here, he ended up with a total of $157 total, of course, with a $47 anonymous tip. And as you can see here, he had no growth last week whatsoever. No one else purchased memberships to this. He was stuck at 44. So let's just hear him real quick and hear him brag about the initial go of DSP versus the Internet.
Sweet. Well, guys, that went well. I had no idea how that was going to go, and that went pretty well in my opinion. What do you guys think? I thought it went pretty darn well. Attendance was good. Support was good. People seem to be enjoying themselves. I agree with you. Some of the clips didn't work, and that's why I skipped ahead. And we got everyone's clip in. It was like exactly the right length too, right? So like the way I see it, hey, if we can do it same every week, we do kind of that. A 2.5 to 3 hour show, watching shorter clips, having fun. That's what it's all about. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. That was a great show. What I'm doing now, like I said, here's how we're going to handle it. I'm going to upload the first 2 parts today.
Okay, my apologies for the audio. Everybody knows DSP audio is always crappy and extra low, and I tried bumping up the gain, but it's still low, so my apologies on that. Anyway, of course, our boy Phil, he got the vest on and the hat, and rocking the $157 in total tips. He was pretty excited. Sadly, no additional members came on board. And yeah, I mean, it was okay. He had about 375 viewers consistently, like on average, it was about 375 people that actually watch, which is consistent with his normal DSP gaming. That it's actually a little bit lower than what he gets, because sometimes he gets between like 4 and 5 depending on what he's playing. 400 to 500 viewers on DSP Gaming, depending again on what he's playing. For his first stream. So this is actually was a little bit lower. It was about average or a little bit lower than what he normally gets. Whatever, Phil doesn't care. His big thing is tips and memberships and so on. That's what he cares about. So he did okay for the initial go around, right? So now let's bounce back to today's stream. And here it is right here. And what you can see here is Game Trucker came out with the $30 dono, which was the biggest dono of the day. And I think 1 Minute Man may have tipped as well. I can't remember, or I choose not to remember. Fake 1 Minute Man. So essentially, he ended up getting only $100 in tips. So he only hit the tier 2 tip goal, right? And his viewership was down significantly. He averaged about 350 members watching this React content. So he dipped over 130 to 40, about 140, 150 people decided not to bother watching this. So initially for the first go run, he had about 380 to 400. And then for this one, the second time around, he got about 250 to 260 roughly in views, which is that's a big significant drop. And we know that if he would be playing games, on DSP Gaming, he would probably get a little bit more than that. He would get 3 to 350. So this channel really isn't panning out the way he had hoped. He's not getting the views. He's definitely not getting the membership. So today he ended up hitting 54 members. So he got 10 members that were gifted. No one bought memberships on this. All of it was just gifted. So again, of the 54, you're so he had 44. So 35 were initially gifted, and then so 45 of these 54 members are gifted memberships. So next month on the 24th, they're going to expire, and no one's going to renew. So I expect Phil between the 17th and the 24th, he's going to dip back down to roughly 11 to 20 members. That's where he's going to be at, unless someone comes in and drops a bomb, a membership bomb, which I don't foresee that. I don't foresee it happening. There's not really any interest in this. I mean, this should have been just a supplemental thing he did on top of DSP Gaming, but I didn't see the reason for him to break this out and take different content that he needed for his main channel. He's just diluting his product, and he's not really getting the views, the support. And as you can see here, he only received $100 today versus the 157 he got last week. And again, one dent came in, one whale dropped the $30 dono here, and he got 10 gifted members. He got I guess it's great we got 10 gifted members, but again, you're not, it's not organic growth though. That's what you always say, right? Organic growth. It's just people throwing money at you, gifting you whales, right? But no one's going to take that gift and say, well, I like the content so much, I'm going to renew. And then, you get that organic growth. It's very similar to what I said about your DSP Gaming membership, where, you got a high watermark of about 375, 370 to 380. That's your high watermark in memberships, right? And occasionally, you'll go up when when the dents start dropping $100 gifted subs, gifted memberships, Emil, T Michael Gamer, those folks, right? But when that goes away and these people can't afford that, can't afford to whale out like they do every month, you always drop back to that number. And right now, I think on DSP Gaming, you're at 371? Which means you're essentially negative growth for 9 months. Ever since gifted memberships has been a thing, you are at negative growth. And your channel can't survive that way, Phil. I mean, you can continue living the way you're living and just scrounging, just eking it out. Because the problem with you, if you were a normal person, didn't have all these bills and didn't have all this debt, you would be fine. You could make it with that $100,000 to $120,000 you make a year, and you could live perfectly fine. But of course, with all your debt and your gambling addiction and all the other addictions, you're always in the negative. And that's why you continuously try to look for new ways to make cash, and it just, you know, it just doesn't seem to work. And yeah, I mean, it's been a week and you've already half your you've essentially lost about a third of your viewership, and then you lost a third of your tips. And you're at 54 members, and again 45 of those are gifted members. Roughly, I'll say 40 to 45 members. 40 to 45 are gifted members, and that's going to roll off in a couple weeks. And unless some debt decides to whale out for you and gift it again, you're going to be in the same situation you're in with DSP Gaming. So just wanted to point that out. Again, I didn't find anything interesting whatsoever. I think he did one. He did King Cobra, whatever, JF. I saw Snore Hogan do a video on that. I didn't find it appealing at all. He's just so boring with his. It's just so boring. And I actually caught about I probably caught about 4 or 5 videos that we're definitely going to get. We're going to get him content ID'd. So he's not going to get any ad revenue for at least two of his 3 videos. Maybe all 3. Just because of the way it was spread out. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. The downfall of DSP Reacts is occurring faster than I expected. Peace out.